Okay, you guys, you are in for a big transformation here. This client typically has platinum blonde hair, and she brought me a picture of glitch hair, which I have actually never done before. So I'm excited to tell you everything that I learned about doing this beautiful head of hair as we work our way through this head. So the first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to create a backdrop. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that my heart sectioning and my creative color placement always includes a backdrop section. So that section is going to be the section that you paint more solid. That's going to be the section that allows all of your creative detail work to pop off of it and really make a big impact. When you start doing creative colors, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is I see them take teeny tiny little sections and paint them all detailed from top to bottom. What happens when you do that is you lose the impact of each color. So if you guys are going to try this technique, I would highly recommend working with your client to decide on a specific color for the backdrop. I've seen it done with pink or silver. This lavender purple is what this client would call her natural color. So that's why I'm doing this. Now, one of the other things you're going to see me do, and I know I've said this before, when you're working with a solid color, it's almost like when you were painting or coloring in a coloring book as a little kid. I always would like color out the outline first and then go back and fill it in. So I'm going to do the same thing here with this beautiful head of hair. Now you're going to see me disappear for a second, and that's because I always do the first section and then I see how well the saturation is going to go before I decide whether or not I'm going to keep that color the same. What you saw me do is you saw me go actually get more violet. And what I'm doing with that violet is I increase the saturation level to give me a little bit more oomph in the color. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint the roots, and then the other thing you'll see me do often is what I'm doing right here, and I'm going to comb that color through. If you're working with hair that's like a little bit more porous, it doesn't absorb the color saturation completely evenly, you're going to want to make sure that you're taking that brush, you're working it really well through the hair. You're going to first do it vertical, and then you're actually going to work it through side to side. This is the Big Daddy brush from Art. It's my favorite because the bristles are really kind of like stiff and they can really push the color through the hair. The other thing you're going to see me do is pull that hair as tightly as I can and keep really good tension on it. I'm going to paint this entire section from root to tip. The other thing that's a little bit different in my application is that I start at the bottom versus the top. So if you guys are doing like a traditional root retouch, I know that they always taught us in cosmetology school, you know, start at the top and work your way around. Instead, when you're doing creative color, I always recommend to start at the bottom. The reason is, do you see those ends of her hair that are sticking out of the top? Those are completely untouched. They stayed clean, they're beautiful, they're crisp, and they have no residual color from the purple on them. That's because I started at the bottom and I worked my way to the top. Okay, you guys, this is my first attempt at glitch hair, and I have to tell you, as inconvenient as I thought it would be to the client to have this foil in her face, it was worth every single second, and I think that Tara would agree. I learned so much on this head of hair. I cannot wait to share all the details with you guys. So let's start here. Obviously, this is in real time, so bear with me because it's going to be a little bit slow. I know you guys hate it when I speed it up, so I wanted to do the first panel in real time for you guys. So obviously we're working in rainbow order as usual, but because her roots are all purple, I started with purple. So we're going purple, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then back to purple. One of the things I learned when I was doing this glitch hair is that you're going to only want each section to be 1.5 to 2 inches if you want that good like glitch effect. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with glitch hair, the cool thing is when I pull this down, I'm going to take teeny tiny little slices, like I'm talking 1/8 of an inch and no wider, and I'm going to pull it down and I'm literally layering it over the piece that was previous to this piece. And when I pull it back, because I've over directed it, it's going to cause this like glitch effect, as if your like computer screen is going out or your TV screen is going out. It's going to cause this really cool glitch effect. The thing that I did not expect is when I parted her hair down the middle, it created this really cool halo effect. So you guys make sure you stay to the end of this video so that you can actually see that effect. I'm going to speed it up here in a minute, but I wanted you to see in real time how long it takes for each rainbow panel. Okay, so here we go. This is my beautiful client, Tara. You guys have seen her on my page 1,000 times. She's one of my hair muses for sure. I'm going to speed this up. Now, the one thing I did learn here when I was playing with this glitch effect is that I didn't do just like 1/8 of an inch slice and then switch the root color. I actually did 2 back to back and then switch the root color. Now, this is a crazy panel. This next one you guys are going to see, I'm actually going to make a mistake and I'm going to fix it for you. I left it in the video so you could see and learn from my own mistakes. Now I'm going through and I'm going to paint this on. We have a little bit of extra hair at the bottom, so we've got purple. We're going to go back into that red. And then you're going to see me pull a balayage foil from Quality Touch Foil. That's like one of my favorite little tips and tricks if you guys work with creative color. Instead of having to put foil over it, you can use the balayage film. That's typically made for balayage, but it's great for creative color because you can see through it and you can see where the placement was before. Now I've got good tension on this hair, and look what I did. This is my mistake. I actually painted pink before the purple, which obviously if you're thinking of rainbow order, I should have painted blue. So I'm going to get to that pink again, and then at this moment you can see in the video I realized, like, oh no, what have I done? So I'm going to show you guys what I do with this one. We're going to go back in with the yellow. You'll also see me kind of like flip my brush. So I'll take whatever product is on my brush on one side and then flip it over on the other. One of the things I learned big time on this is to make sure that your brushes stay really clean. And then there you go. Do you see I just put the blue right over that purple and pink, and it just melted it through. So that actually fixed my mistake and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, as you're doing this technique, make sure that you don't over paint one of the sections, because you're going to lose the impact of that section. The other thing that I'm going to do here, as you guys see, is I'm going to actually change the root color. So I'm taking that teeny tiny little slice, it's 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to pin it out of the way. This client actually had purple hair. There's Morgan in the background. She's always like my hype girl. So she's back there watching. And if you guys see the lady moving in the corner over there, that's my mom. She's always working hard as well. Here is the blue. We're going back into the purple, and you can see this is actually my second layer. Now, when you are painting this, I would make sure you're not elevating the foil too much, even though it feels like it's super annoying and it's in my client's face. If you elevate the foil, you're going to lose the over direction of the foil, and you're going to lose the impact that you've been able to create with this glitch effect. As you work your way through the head of hair, one of the things I noticed, and I was telling my client this, which is kind of funny, is obviously the number of rainbow panels that you paint is going to be more because you're over directing hair from farther on the back of the head. So I told this client that her hair was 4 rainbow panels long. So right here we're only on 1.5. So as you see me work my way through the head, you're going to see how many more I add. Now we've just started with blue there. So as we slice it down, you guys know which color is going to be next. It's going to be green. The other thing that I always do is I make sure that every single piece of hair that I'm painting on is completely flat, completely fluid, and I'm going to pull that tension really hard. And then a big mistake I made at the beginning, which I'm going to keep you guys from making this mistake and save you like at least an hour on someone's head, is I was literally taking every single color and painting it one at a time. Do you see how I'm doing that? And then, aha, I had a moment and I realized I could just literally paint the purple on each purple section and then the pink on each pink, instead of taking the time to put my brush down between sections. I know you've probably seen it on other videos before, but in real life I just didn't think about it. So here is my biggest tip. When you get the orange brush out, paint all of the orange sections first before you actually put it down, and then go back through. One of my other big tips that I share a lot when working with yellow is yellow kind of becomes overtaken by other colors. So if you're doing any sort of rainbow panel sectioning, or you're doing any glitch sectioning, make sure that you start with the yellow section bigger than you anticipate it needs to be, because the other colors will kind of crowd it out and they'll take over as you go. Now here we go into the different root color. You guys can see this actually took, and I can tell this from my camera roll, 2.5 hours to paint just this section of her head. So once I finished this section, I basically let it sit. It only had to sit 18 minutes, which is literally nothing after 2.5 hours of painting. And then we went to the bowl and we shampooed it in ice. I had to show you guys what it looks like as I get all the way down the entire head of hair. We are now 3 rainbows deep into this beautiful head of hair. And as mentioned before, I'm making sure that I'm doing each color as we go. So I'm painting every inch of pink, every inch of purple, every inch of orange that I can possibly see. Make sure when you're doing this that you're really paying attention so you don't accidentally leave out a color, which is super easy to do. This last little section took so long because it was so many rainbows, but it was so absolutely worth it. We ended up using the Quality Touch Foil balayage film. You guys can tear it as long as you want. And then the great thing about that is I was able to flip it over and get it out of Tara's face. So she was probably so ready to see the world after 2.5 hours of painting this glitch hair. You're gonna pull out the pieces rather quickly, and then you'll start with the cold ice shampoo. Okay, we are at the end of this beautiful glitch appointment and I am going to rinse out this client's hair. Now, the one question I get all the time with rinsing out creative color is how the heck does it not run together? And I can tell you that this water is high pressure and it's ice cold. So if your clients are wimps, you cannot have creative color with them. I had to show you guys how incredible these results are before they're even dried out. One of the things I did not expect was this massive amount of rainbow roots that we have going on. It's my new favorite technique. I'm going to be doing this with all sorts of colors. I can just see in the future this glitch effect technique, but done with like raspberry, purple, pink, all of those awesome colors together. And then you guys know my content creation heart loves a good slow comb through rainbow hair. If you guys are not doing a slow comb through any sort of creative color, you're missing out on a great content opportunity. You want to really hold the camera close and zoom in so you can see that beautiful color all the way down. I wanted to keep this one in so you could kind of see the halo of color that travels around this beautiful client's head. And then here are our results. This is literally my new favorite. I am obsessed. I literally could not believe that it looked this great. I actually kept her hair straight so you could see how beautiful this blend is. And we've got that triple rainbow halo effect going from root to tip. If you guys get to try out this glitch technique, please let me know. I would love to see your works of art. Thanks for joining.